If you feel like nothing ever really changes no matter how motivated you get, this might be hard to hear. But the problem is not your lack of effort. It is the way you approach change itself. Most people try to overhaul their entire life, fail within days, and then conclude that they are stuck forever. What actually keeps people stuck is not laziness or bad luck. It is repeating the same invisible mistakes every single week. Today, I want to flip the focus completely. Instead of talking about habits to add, we're going to talk about what silently ruins progress and how a single week, done correctly, can permanently change the direction of your life. The biggest lie we believe is that change requires a dramatic moment, a big decision, a breakthrough, a rock-bottom event. In reality, life rarely shifts through explosions. It shifts through tiny course corrections. Think of direction, not speed. One small adjustment today can place you somewhere completely different a year from now. The tragedy is that most people repeat the same weekly pattern, hoping for a different outcome. They wake up reacting, consume random information, neglect their energy, never reflect, and start each day already focused on what is missing. Then they wonder why nothing changes. The first mistake that sabotages change is starting your day without deciding what success looks like. When you wake up and immediately step into messages, problems, and noise, you surrender control before the day even begins. The day does not need to defeat you. It only needs you to arrive unprepared. A powerful week starts when you mentally finish the day before it begins. When you know what would make today a win, you stop chasing everything and start protecting what matters. Clarity creates momentum, and momentum is what most people are actually missing. The second mistake is feeding your mind with whatever is loud instead of what is wise. Most people scroll, skim, and consume opinions all day long, then wonder why they feel anxious, reactive, and unfocused. Your mind is not neutral. It is shaped by what you repeatedly allow in. When you expose yourself to thoughtful ideas consistently, even in small amounts, your thinking begins to slow down and sharpen at the same time. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding intentionally. Over the course of a week, this alone can change how you speak, how you decide, and how you see yourself. The third mistake is separating mental growth from physical energy. People treat movement like a cosmetic goal instead of a mental one. When your body stays stagnant, your mind follows. Movement is not about intensity or appearance. It is about sending yourself a daily signal that you matter. When you move, you wake your nervous system up. You shift from survival mode into ownership mode. Over a single week, this creates discipline. And discipline is far more powerful than motivation because it shows up even when excitement fades. Another silent mistake is living life without capturing it. When you never reflect, every lesson is temporary. Every insight disappears. Writing, even briefly, turns experience into awareness. It allows you to see patterns instead of just emotions. When you ask yourself what worked, what did not, and what can be adjusted tomorrow, you stop repeating the same week on a loop. Progress is not about perfection. It is about noticing what actually moves you forward and reinforcing it intentionally. The final mistake is starting each day focused on what is wrong. This drains energy before the day even begins. Gratitude is not denial of struggle. It is perspective. When you deliberately acknowledge what is already working, your nervous system calms down. Fear loses leverage. You stop approaching life from scarcity and start approaching it from stability. This mental shift changes how you handle problems, how you speak to people, and how you show up under pressure. Now, here is where everything comes together. A week is powerful not because it is long, but because it is repeatable. When you design one intentional week, you create a template. That template becomes a rhythm, and rhythm shapes results. You do not need a perfect life plan. You need 1 week that you can repeat with small refinements. That is how identity changes. Not through big promises, but through consistent proof. So instead of asking what will change your life forever, ask a better question. What would happen if you stopped sabotaging the next 7 days? If you decided the day before it started, fed your mind with intention, moved your body to support your mind, reflected instead of rushing, and anchored your focus in gratitude, you would not become a different person overnight, but you would become a person who is moving somewhere instead of standing still. Change does not arrive with noise. It arrives with commitment to small, repeated choices. You already have the power. You already have the time. You already have the next 7 days. The direction of your life is waiting on what you choose to repeat.